Well, hello everyone. My name is Shanita, and I am the founder of Future Focus Coaching and Wellness. And today I have a wonderful presentation for you called Disconnection from Self. Understanding why that matters and how to help you better connect to yourself and the impact it will have on your overall emotional well being. So I'm so grateful that you guys are here. Thank you for being here. And I'm just ready to get started and let's see where this beautiful journey takes us. Now, our opening question that I want to share with everyone is, when was the last time you felt at home within yourself? When was the last time you felt at home within yourself? Now, when I say at home within yourself, what I'm asking truly is, when is the last time you showed up as your authentic self, no pretending and no performing, just 100% at ease and at peace within yourself? Mm, that's a big one because not many people live with that luxury. Some people struggle to figure out, what does that look like for me? So I want you to right now take a moment and sit with this question. When was the last time you truly felt at home with yourself? Did you notice anything come up for you? Now I want to start by saying there are no right or wrong answers. There is no good or bad, just one simple, honest question. And we want to ask this question because it will help us to bring awareness into our being, and how this simple inquiry can reveal so much about not only ourselves, but the relationships that are in our lives, and how to better connect to ourselves and the relationships around us. So please keep this question in mind as we go throughout our time together today. Now, we forget who we are when we chase what we can't satisfy us. We forget who we are when we chase what can't satisfy us. A lot of us are living on autopilot. We go through our day to day business more in the doing of things and not in our minds and not in our spirit. How many of us have driven to work and we look up and we're suddenly there? We don't remember the route we've taken 1,000 times before. And we've always said, I would guess I was on autopilot. Like, how did we get to where we were going if we weren't being aware of stop signs, other cars around us, traffic? It's incredible when you think about it. We pursue excellence, we pursue success, we pursue perfection, and we even pursue other people's approval and acceptance of us. But at what cost? Like, what are we giving up as empaths and highly sensitive people? What cost is it coming? Well, one of the biggest costs is we're losing ourselves. We're losing sight of our values and who we are as a person because we're so busy trying to meet everyone else's expectations and demands that they put on us, that we happily accept it for the gift of belonging or peace or success. We lose our own hearts, we lose our own minds for the opinions of others. And this is what I want us to tap into today, is how do I say, okay, Shanita, you're speaking about me. This has been something I'm guilty of doing, and I want to stop it. Well, I'm so glad you're here, friend, and I'm going to give you a blueprint on how to start better connecting with yourself. But let's first talk about why self-connection truly is important. Why does this matter so much, Shanita? Well, your decisions, they begin to feel empty and unfulfilling. Your relationships have just become unbalanced to the point where even you can't make sense of it or function within them. You don't even know who you are because you're so masterful and skillful at pleasing and helping and serving other people. It's just like now you're starting to feel the consequences of years and years of saying yes automatically to people when your body and mind are screaming, no, we can't do that. And you want to know what those consequences typically are? It's called burnout. I'm emotionally burned out. I don't even know who I am anymore. This is this constant ability to say yes when I really mean no. It's taken over. It's all I know about me at this point. But I know that I'm exhausted. And I've got to find a better way of getting validation. And I know that has to begin with me. I know that my inner peace has long left me. I know that my mental clarity is wonky because I don't know how to make decisions that benefit me. I used to be a happy person. You know, giving and being of service is my go-to place. It makes me happy. But lately, it hasn't been making me happy. I've been irritable, I've been frustrated, and I just feel like I'm getting further and further away from light. I just don't know what to do about that. Now, we talked in another time about the fawn response, people pleasing, being obsessively connected to this drive to be a people pleaser, saying yes when everything in you is saying, oh, no, 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 no. Your boundaries, they're like cooked spaghetti noodles at this point. Because you, at all costs, do not want to disappoint other people. But you're starting to feel now that you're being resentful on top of being physically and emotionally exhausted. Because now you're saying to yourself, well, I give to them. Don't they think that, I need help too? No, they don't. No, they don't. And let's be honest here. Even if they were to give you the help that you give to other people, would you accept it? Mm-mm. I already know the answer to that question. You won't accept it. So it's time to get honest and it's time to get real. As my brother always says, you can't heal till you get real. So that's what we're asking you to do today. Be honest with yourself. Be honest. Because that restlessness that you've been experiencing, living somebody else's life, doing what your parents ask you to do, doing what your spouse wants you to do, doing what family and friends are asking you to do, a boss, whoever, anybody that you are violating your personal beliefs for, whatever that person is to you. That restlessness that's coming up, it's your spirit's way of saying it's time to do better. It's not a judgment. It's an indicator. It is a signal that you are ready to stop living this false sense of security. Because as you are out there trying to get that external validation, it's not helping. It's bringing you further and further. into that dark place. When you're doing that constant comparison to other people's lives, has that been helpful to you? No, no. But what it is doing is keeping you from seeing your own gifts, your own unique abilities. Don't you want to know how magnificent you are? Aren't you curious about how uniquely and wonderfully you made you are? Instead of being yet another um, robotic example of this particular person over here or that person over there, that person you admired. It's great to be inspired by people, but use that inspiration to better connect to yourself, to shine your own authentic light, and to live the life that is your birthright. You don't want to feel like a stranger in your own life, wondering forever, who am I? Nobody wants to live like that. And I don't recommend that for anybody. Now, what we ignore grows louder. Your inner voice becomes a whisper, that signal we just talked about. But when you don't pay attention to that signal, it turns into a scream, a roar. And let me tell you, when you let it go on and on and on, it begins to take an emotional toll. There is a hidden cost that comes with saying, not yet, I'm not going to choose me yet. I'm going to continue to choose everyone and everything else. And when that gentle whisper turns into a scream, where you're dealing with depression, anxiety, your self-worth is not as high as it could be, and you just begin to slowly but surely abandon yourself over time. And that's why you feel lost. You can't have meaningful and deep relationships that are nurturing, that are healing, because you're not even doing it for yourself. Your boundaries, they're so flexible, and people just come in and out, and you violate your boundaries so much that they don't even feel like boundaries in your life anymore. Your relationships are straight up draining you. Even though you're getting something from it, that something begins to lose its magic, because you start to wonder, is what I'm getting by pretending and performing, is that enough now? And if you are someone that's gravitating to this topic, I'm pretty sure you're saying to yourself, no, it's not enough. Because life will start to lose its meaning and purpose the longer you stay in this cycle. The inner emptiness that grows, it becomes huge. And nothing will fill that until you begin to take responsibility. Because again, it's not about right or wrong, good or bad. It's about listening to what's going on within your body and in your mind, and choosing yourself and saying, okay, I'm ready to do something about this now. I believe in my heart that I deserve better. So then science will show us, already knows, that remembering yourself is the ultimate healing. Remembering yourself is the ultimate healing. Now, research is showing us that identity misalignment creates these states of chronic stress. It keeps our nervous system stuck in survival mode. And this impacts everything from sleep quality to immune health function. your cortisol levels will be up, and your decision making processes will be impacted, and just your emotional regulation will be completely off, right? You know this, you've lived this. And now, as your mind is becoming aware of this is what I'm dealing with, that disconnection is typically your spirit calling you back home to yourself. It's not a failure. Again, there's no right or wrong, good or bad. It's just signal. It's an indicator. It's an attention getting thing that's asking you to not only remember who you are, but to walk into that, to walk toward that. So your inner compass is needing recalibration. Your authentic self is asking for attention. And your soul's natural healing intelligence is sharing information with you to move forward with. So this is where science and soul meet. Now, I want to share with you 3 powerful ways to reconnect back to your authentic self. Now, the first way is soul journaling, and I highly recommend taking a pen to paper and writing out and asking yourself an important question every day. So, here I'm going to get you started, and here is your first question: what am I pretending not to know? What am I pretending not to know? And write without censoring yourself. Don't judge what comes up. Be honest. Allow your spirit to share and to give you insight. See, this practice, it'll help you to access what your inner truth is and acknowledge your feelings with that it's been avoiding. But when you create that safe space to do so, when you tell your heart that I'm listening, and whatever you have to say, I'm listening, and it matters to me, you will begin to hear and to feel the connection, the reconnection back to yourself take place. Now, the second exercise is the values exercise. And as a positive psychology coach, I work with people to help them become better aware of what their values are. What are your core values? And then the biggest question I want you to ask when you do this exercise is, are my actions lining up with those core values? Now, let me give you an example. Back many years ago when I started my own healing journey, I'm somebody that values honesty. Always have, and I really believe always will value honesty. And then I had to realize where in my life specifically my values were not in alignment with my actions. Now, while I expect honesty from myself and other people, I began to notice how I wasn't being honest. For example, Shanita, I got this. Can you do it? I need your help. Um, I need you to get up at 1 o'clock in the morning and take me somewhere. Sure, I would love to do that. I would love to have my sleep interrupted, blah, 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 so you can come home from a party all safe and sound. Now, that's a ridiculous example, but the old me would say yes. I would put myself in crazy circumstances and situations just because I didn't want to disappoint anybody, or I didn't want to be the person that let someone down, right? I'm always there for you. I meant that if I said that to you. And the only way to prove it was to do things that were crazy that I shouldn't be doing, right? But when I realized how my actions were not in alignment with my core values, that the honesty that I'm looking for everyone else has to begin with me, it was a game changer for me. So this is why identifying your 3 core values is incredibly important to your healing journey. And the last exercise is the future self visualization. So I want you to get in a quiet space where you can be uninterrupted and close your eyes and begin to think of the highest, truest, and most loving part of yourself. And then ask yourself, what do I need to know right now? What are the pieces that I need to know? Guide me to better connect to you. And again, don't judge, don't limit, don't censor, because you're asking the highest version of you to help you better connect. All the answers you need are already inside of you. This future self visualization is giving you the opportunity to sit with your highest and truest self and learn. It knows the way. We are incredible and intelligent beings. And when we listen, when we slow down and listen, we get a lot of answers. So, soul journal, getting into awareness of your core values and listening to your future self, your highest and truest self, these are priceless interventions. Priceless. Now, I want to make sure that we are on the same page with the idea of self-care. Now, this is more than just bubble baths, a vacation, hanging out with the friend group. While those things are amazing, that's not what I'm talking about right now when it comes to self-care. Self-care, to me, is the radical act of turning toward yourself with curiosity and compassion, instead of criticism and neglect. That's self-care. I create home within me. I have daily routines, rituals, practices that remind myself, that remind my nervous system, I have my best interest at heart. I'm protecting us. And thank you for doing your part in helping me to remember. Because I had to build trust within myself again. Unfortunately, I had proven to myself over and over again that I didn't have my best interests at heart. So I had to build trust within my own self. I had to constantly nurture myself emotionally, physically, and spiritually. I had to tell myself through my actions that I am worthy, that I see myself as worthy. So much so, I am prepared to put inspired action behind that belief. Because we all know you can't pour from an empty cup. But it's even worse when that empty cup is your soul. Do you know how tired you have to be at a soul level? That feeling alone, that's, don't pour from a cup that is not overflowing. You gotta nurture yourself in order to rebuild trust in your inner world. So as we bring this to a conclusion, I want to ask you again. Do you feel more at home in yourself than when we began? Do you feel more at home in yourself than when we first began? Remember, you don't need to find yourself. There's nothing wrong with you. You are being asked to remember yourself because you've been there all along. You've just been distracted by life, by chasing wealth, by chasing success, by chasing friends, lovers, whatever. You've been chasing not wanting to feel bad and to do whatever it took by any means necessary to feel good, only to realize later that that came at a cost. And so I'm so grateful that you are now here seeking to reconnect with yourself. Because this is not about perfection or even having all the answers. That's not what this is about. It's about increasing your capacity for self-awareness, self-compassion, and to live in the most authentic way possible. And I want to encourage you that small shifts in thinking and being will produce huge, wonderful results. Not only in your life, but you will be that shining beacon for everyone else. Because now, instead of you chasing other people for validation, belonging, or acceptance, people will see your light and they will begin to ask you, hey, I noticed some changes in you. What have you been doing? Because I could use some of that. And isn't that the most amazing compliment? That now the thing you used to chase is now chasing you because you are a living embodiment of that. So I want you to take a moment right now to notice any shifts in your being. To know that you have everything you need to go from disconnection to reconnection to your mind, body, and spirit. That you can begin to fill your own cup and be the nourishment that you need to take care of yourself. Your nervous system is wanting to know that you will do whatever it takes to bring it back into a state of safety, calm, and peace. I'll go see that therapist. I'll go hire that coach. I'll go talk to a medical provider. I'll sit still and journal. I will get in touch with my values. I will do whatever is necessary for us to feel safe, happy, and whole. And once you begin to put inspired action behind that, your nervous system, your mind, your body, and your spirit will begin to celebrate those wonderful decisions. You will begin to see and notice a difference. So we've talked today about how disconnection not only affects you, but every area of your life. How they show up, the signs and the symptoms and the signals, how they show up in everyday life for you and the choices that you make. How science and spirituality come together and both point us in the direction of the importance of connecting to ourselves. I gave you practical tools that'll help guide you back to yourself. And I'll even share with you how self-care is an act, a sacred act of reconnection. And I hope that you remember this moving forward. That the journey of self-reconnection is not the destination. It's an ongoing practice of returning to yourself, of choosing yourself again and again. So you don't have to live disconnected. Peace, balance, clarity, they're yours. They're your birthright. And they are always within reach. Always within reach. So I really appreciate you sharing your time today, joining me on this journey of helping you to better connect with yourself, to better appreciate that connection. And when you make that connection with your authentic self, to be diligent in guarding that beautiful transformation. Because even though it may not feel like it in the moment, your unique talents and gifts, your ability to heal yourself emotionally, physically, spiritually, that's a skill this world needs right now. And again, I say that make sure you are seeing a licensed medical provider when needed, but also remember to balance science and soul and know that stress, anxiety, all that's serious and needs to be dealt with. But there is a spiritual side to that that is begging for attention as well. Remember, choose yourself again and again and again. You are loved, you are supported, and thank you for being here and sharing your time. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Bye, everybody.